I don't think you have to be a marketing expert to know that Instagram is key in growing your audience, building brand recognition, and getting your stuff out there in front of hundreds, thousands, or even millions of eyes across the world. Today, I'm going to be sharing my biggest tips in creating an engaging community on your Instagram and actually using Instagram to drive more sales and create more clients for your business. If you're interested in hearing about that, then just keep watching. Before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce myself. Hello everybody, my name is Holly and I am a freelance graphic designer in Canada, and I post videos about the creative process, about graphic design in general, and how to grow your business. It's nice to see you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and let's get into the video. Over the last year and a half of running my graphic design business, I have learned a lot about Instagram in general and how to actually build your business through using social media. Instagram has been a huge factor in building my business. I have gotten almost every single one of my clients through Instagram or referrals. So it can work for you, and you just have to keep trying and figuring out what actually works for you and your business. When trying to get more clients or sales through Instagram for your business, ultimately your goal should be to create a consistent and cohesive social presence online and in your storefront if you have one, and to create an engaging community, because these two things will help build legitimacy and trust in your brand, which will eventually make you more money. If somebody scrolls off of your page because they don't think that you're legitimate or that you're trustworthy or an expert, then that's gonna lose you so much money. Okay, so my very first tip for making more money and driving more sales through Instagram is, first of all, to make your brand and your feed identifiable. If somebody sees a post, they should eventually know who exactly it's by. You should have a very distinct look and make sure that your presence online is very cohesive across all platforms. Having identifiable brand elements will help you stand out among the crowd, will help other people identify you, and will essentially build trust in your brand over time. Start to follow these general rules for your Instagram feed and just see how much better it starts looking and how much more professional it looks. I would recommend using the same 1 to 2 fonts throughout your whole page on Instagram. So use the same few fonts for your stories, your posts, your reels, and anything else that you're using. I use one font from every one of my stories because they have like loaded in fonts, obviously, for Instagram. So that's what I do. And then for all of my posts, I use my actual brand fonts. So I have 2 fonts that are associated with my brand throughout all of my brand elements. So those are the 2 fonts that I use in all of my posts and reel covers. After that, I would make sure that I'm sticking to a particular color palette. You want to make sure that you're looking consistent throughout all of your Instagram feed. I would also try out a feed layout or posting schedule. You can look up some examples of some Instagram feed layouts. You can look on Pinterest, or even take a look at my feed. My Instagram is @HallGraphics, and just see how my posts are very consistent in their visual layout. I don't think that the aesthetic part of it is really the most important, but what I would say is that keeping consistent with the way that it looks generally is what's really important. Keep in mind that building consistency in your social media presence is not going to happen overnight. Although if you do start doing these things, over time you're gonna notice how much more professional you look, and you're gonna drive the sales because people are just gonna engage more with your community and trust you as a business owner. My second tip for getting more clients through Instagram is to find a mix of content that works specifically for you. You hear a lot of Instagram gurus saying that there's a specific formula that you need to follow in order to go viral or to have a successful business on Instagram. And honestly, if you have to do like 26 stories a day and 30 reels a week and there's all these calculations and that doesn't work for you, then it will never work for you. If you can't stay consistent with what you're doing and enjoy what you're posting, then that's gonna come through and it's not gonna work. It would be better for you to find something that actually works for you in your schedule so you're not on your phone 24/7. In general, I would suggest that you post about, first of all, your products and services. It is important to talk about those. In addition to your products and services, you can post helpful tips or advice for your ideal clients, something that your ideal clients actually would be interested in looking at and engaging with, so then they'll follow you. Just making sure that everything is honing in on that ideal client and what they're interested in. Sharing your knowledge or advice or tips or process in general will really help show your audience that you are in charge, you are the expert here, and that they should come to you for your services or product to make their life easier. My third tip for you guys is to stay connected and to get people involved. I think with all of the chaos of Instagram, all of the confusing updates and analytics, we can kind of forget the social part of social media. The reality is that this social media is made for us to build communities and make connections with like-minded people. We really need to focus on building those connections, because making these connections is what's gonna get you more sales and what is gonna build your client base even more. Getting people involved and creating an engaging community for people in your area or all across the world is ultimately going to build your client base and is gonna make you more connections that will get you more sales. And honestly, I feel like I've built such an amazing community. I've made real relationships and I've made real connections with people through Instagram. If you're really having these great conversations and engaging this community, you're only gonna grow and you're only gonna get more clients. A really great way to actually build your community on Instagram and get people involved with your account is to share your process and your behind the scenes. You provide a value in your product or service, and by showing the process or behind the scenes in creating that is really going to show that value to your potential customers and help them feel more connected to you and your process. Another great way to actually engage and stay connected with your audience is to ask them questions and to actually go out of your way to engage them. Take a look at all of the stickers and features that Instagram does offer, because there's a ton that will help engage your community. Use these features to help your community feel involved in your process, whether it be picking a color of the shirt that you're gonna come out with next, or letting them decide the name of a product. Sometimes they let people vote on what project I do next, or maybe a passion project that I'm working on. Just getting people involved and having them along the process of whatever you're doing really helps them feel engaged and a part of your community. I mentioned it before and I will mention it again. Interacting with your ideal customers is crucial in building your Instagram and connecting to these customers that will likely use your services down the road. I would suggest following and genuinely interacting with people who are your ideal client, not in a way that's fake. Like, don't message them and cold call them, and because people hate that and they're probably gonna unfollow you and they're never gonna look at your profile again. If it is your ideal customer, then they will wanna see what you're putting forward. Ultimately, familiarity and consistency builds trust in your customers. So if somebody has been interacting with you and trusts you over the long haul, they're probably gonna choose you versus somebody who they have no idea who they are and they've never heard of them before. It's really important to remember that you should be building real connections here. If you're being fake, it's definitely gonna come through and you're not gonna get more clients by doing this. I think it's super important to stay genuine and be true to who you are. My final tip for building trust on Instagram and getting more clients is to use professional photos. Think about any legitimate business that you see online. Think about Apple, for example. Do they post photos or have photos on their ads or website that are blurry and look illegitimate? Probably not. So it's very important on a photo sharing app to have very clear and crisp photos that are thoughtfully planned out. To actually create professional photos for your feed, my biggest tip would be to hire a professional. If you do have the means and money for it, hiring a professional photographer and or designer for your actual graphics on your photos will definitely pay themselves back time and time again if they're done correctly. Having your own personalized photos and graphics for your business will really help you stand out and showcase who you are and what your brand does in the best way possible. It's also super useful to have professional headshots and photos of yourself for your feed as well. I think it's super important to showcase who you are so then people can connect to you and so you can build those legitimate relationships that actually get you more sales in the end. Don't be afraid to get creative. I would suggest please do not use photos from Google or Pinterest for your business. Trendy Pinterest pictures are very overused, and let's be honest, if they're on your feed, they're probably on dozens or more of other business owners' feeds as well. Whew, okay, that was a lot of information to take in. Hopefully you guys learned a lot there. Ultimately, I think that building an engaging community and fostering that trust and legitimacy in you and your business is going to help you grow on Instagram, and it's going to help you build more clients and make more money through Instagram. I would love to hear from you guys. If you do have any suggestions for anything that you'd like me to talk about, please leave it in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please check out my Instagram. It is @hallgraphics. I also post tons of reels and information and advice for business owners like you who are trying to grow and make more money in your business over Instagram and social media. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you so much, and have a great day.